Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev, Brahmaraji.
Yeah. So did we finish watching Nana's videos till the end?
Yeah. Second chapter we completed.
Completed, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And where did we stop till reading?
Brahmaraji, we stopped on 69th verse, but I would request if we can start with you from where you left, Brahmaraji.
No problem.
63rd,
69th
63rd.
means there's another 3 more verses till we complete the
only
chapter.
3. Correct.
Yeah. Maybe because the whole group has been doing till 69th, I would suggest that we complete that till 72 and then we can go back to where we started and where we left 10 days back and then start, okay?
As you feel, Brahmaraji.
That'll be fine.
Okay. If you need any help, just let me know.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. Jai Gurudev.
Yeah. ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. You'll need to give me just 2 minutes because I'll have to open my PDF. Bela, in the meantime, do you want to just chant the shlokas from...
Okay. From 60...
62 or so up until 72.
Okay. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गत्सेषूपजायते सङ्घात् सञ्जायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते. When a man thinks of objects, attachment for them arises. From attachment, desire is born, and from desire arises anger. क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. From anger comes delusion. From delusion, loss of memory. From loss of memory, the destruction of discrimination. From destruction of discrimination, he perishes. रागद्वेषवियुक्तस्य युक्तैस्तु विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन् आत्मवश् आत्मवश्यैर्विधेयात्मा प्रसादमधिगच्छति. But the self-controlled man, moving among objects with his senses under restraint and free from both attraction and repulsion, attains peace. प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां हानिरस्योपजायते प्रसन्नचेतसो ह्याशु बुद्धिः पर्यवतिष्ठते. In that peace, all pains are destroyed, for the intellect of the tranquil minded soon becomes steady. नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चाभावयत शान्तिरशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्. There is no knowledge of the self to the unsteady, and to the unsteady, no meditation, and to the unmeditative, no peace, and to the peaceless, how can there be happiness? इन्द्रियाणां हि चरतां यन्मनोनुविधीयते तदस्य हरति प्रज्ञां वायुर्नावमिवाम्भसि. For the mind which follows in the wake of the wandering senses carries away his discrimination as the wind carries away a boat on the waves, on the waters. तस्माद्यस्य महाबाहो निगृहीतानि सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. Therefore, O mighty armed, his knowledge is steady, whose senses are completely restrained from sense objects. या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी यस्यां जाग्रति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः. That which is night to all beings, in that the self-controlled man keeps awake. Where all beings are awake, that is the night for the sage Muni who sees. आपूर्यमाणम् अचलप्रतिष्ठं समुद्रमापः प्रविशन्ति यद्वत् तद्वत् कामायं प्रविशन्ति सर्वे स शान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी. He, the man of perfection, attains peace, into whom all desires enter as waters enter the ocean, which filled from all sides remains unmoved, but not the desirer of desires. विहाय कामान्य सर्वान् विहाय कामान्य सर्वान्युमांशरति निःस्पृहः निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः स शान्तिमधिगच्छति. That man attains peace who, abandoning all desires, moves about without longing, without the sense of I-ness and myness. एषा ब्राह्मी स्थितिः पार्थ नैनां प्राप्य विमुह्यति स्थित्वा स्यामन्तकालेऽपि ब्रह्मनिर्वाणमृच्छति. This is the Brahmika state, O son of Pritha. Attaining this, none is deluded. Being established therein, even at the end of life, one attains to oneness with Brahman. And that's it.
Jai Gurudev. Did you finish verse 69? Did you complete the whole thing or you still have some left?
We had completed the reading of Dr. Mara had done that, I think.
69 is over, so we need to go to 70.
This verse is little important, so if you can just browse through and
Yeah.
We didn't finish the 69, did we? I mean, I read only part of it. I didn't remember reading.
yeah,
Maybe
that's why I'm requesting to repeat. I did finish the 69th verse, but we can once again, since she's here, Ramaraji, so we can have it from 69th, please.
What is the meaning of Apurnamana? That can you show the next lesson? We'll come back again.
Yeah, it is Apurya, not Apurna.
Apurya, what is the meaning given? Can you
He,
browse
the
down?
man of perfection, he, the man of perfection, attains peace, into whom all desires
No,
and
they
as
they
water.
they have given word by word meaning. No, that's why I wanted.
Yeah, a pratipadartha is, yeah.
I just browse down. Can I see? It is next verse. 70, I think. Okay, if you cannot, no problem. We'll do next. No
being
problem.
filled, I think it's come, when the river flows in.
Nanaji told infallible.
Yeah, it's not like, the ocean doesn't.
It is infillable. It cannot be filled anymore, or it is
Yeah.
already filled
Oh,
to the brim.
infallible. Huh? He told
Yeah.
infallible.
Not fallible. Fallible means not making mistakes. But this
That
is
is all.
infillable. It's already full.
Full. Oh,
Mm.
okay.
It's
Thank
full
you.
to the brim.
Thank you.
Yeah. So shall we start from 69th verse onwards?
Kshamyatam Brahmaraji, I think your voice is echoing. One of the devices you will have to off the audio, I believe.
Yeah. I think. Is it better now?
Yes, perfect.
Better, yeah. Okay. या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागृति संयमी यस्यां जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः सर्वभूतानां for all beings, ya that which, nisha night, tasyam in that, samyami one who has mastery over oneself, who is wise, jagarti is awake, yasyam that in which, bhutani beings, jagrati are awake, sa that, pashyataha munehe for the wise man who sees nisha night. सर्वभूतानां या निशा तस्यां संयमी जागर्ति यस्यां भूतानि जागृति सा पश्यता मुनेः निशा. In that which is night for all beings, the one who is wise, who has mastery over oneself, is awake. That in which beings are awake is night for the wise one who sees. Krishna had been answering Arjuna's question about how a person of wisdom, a sthita prajna, is defined and how such a person interacts with the world. Upon analysis, we find Krishna's answer a very interesting one. First, he defined the sthita prajna as one who is happy with himself, by himself, and thereby one who is free from the hold of all desires. One who is able to give up all binding desires as they arise in one's mind, being happy with oneself, in oneself, is awake to the nature of oneself and is therefore wise. The wisdom of such a person is steady. What was this verse that talks about this? The Sthita Prajna is happy by himself, in himself, and is therefore free from the hold of all desires. Can we recollect that shloka? The question that Arjuna asked is Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha? Sthitadir Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha?
Samadhistasya
Aditya
Keshava.
स्थितधीर् किं प्रभाषेत किमासीत व्रजेत किम्. Then Shri Bhagawanuvacha.
प्रजाहाति यदा कामा
Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmanyevatmana tushtaha sthita prajnastadochyate. So Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan. So one who is able to give up desires as and when they arise in him. So one who is able to give up all binding desires as they arise in one's mind, being happy with oneself, in oneself, is awake to the nature of oneself and is therefore wise. Although Arjuna expressed the second part of his question with the words, "How does a wise person talk, sit, and walk?" the spirit of his question was, "How does such a person interact with the world?" Taking the spirit of Arjuna's question into account, Krishna replied that one's wisdom is steady only when one's mind is no longer a problem. Krishna said that ragas and dveshas are the cause for one's knowledge being stifled or inhibited. For the person whose sense organs are freed from raga and dvesha and whose pursuits are not backed by raga dveshas, the knowledge remains because he or she has a cheerful mind, a mind that is not in the hands of raga dveshas. Krishna then summed up by saying that for the one who has withdrawn the sense organs from the sense objects, the one who has the sense organs with oneself, if indeed this person has self knowledge, that knowledge will be steady. So it is not enough if you just have ragadveshas under your control. Having had them under control, one has to have self knowledge. That knowledge will be steady. Just give me a second. I think the verse is Raga Dvesha Viyuktaistu Vishayanindriyaischaran Atma Vashyai Vridheyatma Samadhimadi Gacchati. And then we have also that famous verse, the Kurmongani Vasarvashaha Indriyani Indriyarthebhyaha Tasya Prajna Pratishtita. Having said all this, Krishna was not very happy with his reply to Arjuna's question because he knew that to know whether or not another person is wise, you yourself must be wise. How else are you going to know otherwise? Only a person who is wise knows what it takes to be wise. Arjuna thought that the characteristics of a wise person could be a kind of sadhana for him, a means for becoming wise. But how could he understand these characteristics if he himself was not wise? This is what Krishna still had to convey to Arjuna. So, in order to know whether or not the other person is wise, You yourself must be wise. Ignorance and knowledge are like night and day. Krishna had talked about the person who is happy with himself or herself. And since a madman can also be happy with himself, he also pointed out that a sthita prajna must have knowledge. Recognizing, however, that his description of a wise person was not complete, Krishna adds this very interesting verse. In essence, what he says is that a wise person is like a wise person, and the other wise cannot really understand such a person without becoming wise. He illustrated his point by saying that what is night for all people is day for a wise person who has the mind and senses with him or her. Such a person is called a samyami here. The word yama means mastery or control over the mind and senses, and samyami, one who has that mastery along with knowledge. Further, Krishna said, that which is day for everyone else is night for the wise person, called Muni here. Muni means the one who sees things clearly, Manana Shila. For this person of clear vision, the state that everyone else thinks of as day is night. In other words, when all beings are awake, the Sthita Prajna sleeps. And when they are asleep, the wise person is awake. Does this mean then that one who is wise is some nocturnal being like a bat or a thief who prowls about at night? Not at all. Just as the darkness of night does not allow you to see objects as they are, night here represents darkness with reference to one's knowledge not being clear. The wise person is awake to what is night for all beings, the night of avidya, ignorance. What is not known to people is called the sleep of night, the sleep of darkness or ignorance, avidya nidra. In this sleep of ignorance, people are like somnambulists, sleepwalkers. This state is more than just sleep. These people are all dreamers. They are sleeping but awake, just like in a dream. They are awake and perform all kinds of activities, but still they are asleep because they are not awake to certain realities. If you are totally asleep or totally awake, you have no problem. The problem is when you are only half awake, this being a state where mistakes are possible. In dream, a person is partly awake, meaning that there is some projection by the mind. The person is not identified with the body and the physical reality, but is identified with memories and thoughts from which a dream world is set up. So, a person who's totally asleep could be compared to one who's in deep sleep. There is no dreaming there. And a person who's totally awake is a jnani, who is completely in self knowledge. But the problem comes in between when you're only half awake, where mistakes are possible. And the biggest mistake is of misidentification of the self. So the mistake here is that you identify yourself with your mind, intellect, memory, and ego. The body, mind, memory, and intellect and ego. So the person is not identified with the body and the physical reality, but is identified with memories and thoughts from which a dream world is set up. That is why they say the center of the universe, you are the center of your universe. Because my thoughts and projections might be different from anybody else's thoughts and projections.
So memories and thoughts are with the wise person for the means with the memory, and that he will only let go the things, and he will be awake like that, or memory will again bring him back to the jagat.
No, he is completely in the witness consciousness. He is with the seer. He is not the dreamer there. He is totally awake. It's like how when we wake up from a dream, in the dream it appears that everything is happening is real, right? So that is why we have nightmares, and suddenly you get up. And when you get up, what is the recognition? Oh, it is only a dream. So the wise person is in that state of recognition constantly. He is recognized the truth. So he is in that the state of awaker, completely awake. Whereas all of us who are yet to realize the self, recognize the self, are in this sleep dream state. We're half asleep and we're half dreaming, half awake, half asleep. And that dreaming is that projection that we do.
And what is the night for this awake person? That he said, no, when normal means persons are awake, that is night for the wise persons, Tita Pratnya.
Yeah.
Then it is, he is seeing the Jagat as a witness.
He's seeing
Means
the
all
Jagat
the
as a witness. So what
so
we think
that
is
is
real.
night for him. Yeah.
So it doesn't exist for him, so to say. It is dark for him. In the sense, he does not recognize the world as real. For us, we recognize the world as real. We are awake to the Jagat all the time. But he is asleep to the Jagat. The Jagat is as though asleep, is not existent for him. He is reveling in the truth of the Atma. He might see, he might eat, do, sleep, and everything he will do in the world. But from that space of non-doership. He is only seeing everything is happening, but he is in that heightened awareness that all this is just happening through the senses and the body. I am not the doer. That is complete awakening to the truth of the self. Whereas we are caught up in the doership. We project. The self is there, but then we don't completely recognize the self. We misidentify the self. The reality of duality. In the dream world, everything is dual. Dvaita for the person. The knower is distinct from the known. The known is distinct from the knower. And the knowledge, of course, is distinct from the knower, being something that the knower has and for which there is distinct object, that is the known. This division in the dream is a reality for the dreamer. But upon waking, all the three, the knower, the known, and the knowledge, become one and the same. The known objects in the dream are not separate from knowledge. The knowledge is not separate from the knower, and the knower is not separate from the waker. All the three that belong to the dream resolve into the waker when the person who is dreaming wakes up. The waker was the knower, the known, and the knowledge in the dream. The knower is the waker. That is why one says, I dreamt. The Atma, the self of the knower, that obtained in the dream, obtains also in the waking state, as evidenced by the expression of the experience as I dreamt. I was the one who was dreaming. In the dream, however, everything is a reality. Even the Veda recognizes duality, addressing you as a doer, a karta. Shankara discusses this in his commentary to this verse. The Veda tells you to perform certain karmas, and it also tells you that you will gain what you will gain by doing them. There are very specific differences mentioned also. It says, this karma will produce this result if it is done in this manner by this person at this time. Thus, rituals to be performed are set out in the Veda, all of which implies duality because it addresses a karta who is different from the karma he does. The Veda that says that you are the non-dual Brahman addresses you in the earlier sections as a person who wants certain results and who is going to get these results later. So in all the karma kanda aspect, the Veda talks of you as a karta, talks of duality, karta and karma. You are not the karma, you are just the karta there. Whereas in the Vedanta part, the same Veda talks of you as the non-dual Brahman. The connection between the person and the results is established by performing certain prescribed rituals, the result of which is punya. This punya is what connects the person to the result. The people, rituals, and the results are all different and therefore constitute duality. Your perception also tells you that one object is different from another object. Perception gives rise to different types of knowledge, and based on that knowledge, you conclude that everything is different from you. The first part of the Shruti, as we have seen, also confirms this difference by addressing you as a doer and not as Param Brahma. If the Veda were to address you as Param Brahma, it could not ask you to perform action. Thus, it can only address you as a doer. The Shruti deals with a person who is available right now. You are now a doer, and that doer is addressed. Furthermore, the doer is told that he or she will be an enjoyer later if certain karmas are performed. If they are not done or not done properly, the person will have problems later. Even if a wrong action is done, the doer will still be an enjoyer, but the enjoyment will not be very pleasant. In this way, the Shruti keeps the person in view and talks about what is good and bad for the person, what should be done, and what should be avoided. Thus, it looks as though the Shruti is for the doer alone, and that duality is a reality. Naturally, then, the person looks upon himself or herself in the waking state as someone different from the world, just as in the dream. This is what is meant by the sleep of ignorance. Because of ignorance alone, the person is said to be sleeping. Sleeping here means that one is a dreamer. The person is not totally sleeping. He or she is awake doing various activities. There is even a valid pramana available to the person, enabling him or her to know that certain actions are right and others are wrong. As long as the sleep of ignorance continues, everything is valid for the person in the waking state, just as it is in dream. One doer is different from every other doer, and one enjoyer is different from every other enjoyer. So, very beautifully, Swamiji has brought out the aspect of how, as in a dream, the person is half awake and half asleep. Same thing This person who still does not realize himself, who is still living in the Dvaita Jagat, even in the waking state, it is as though he is dreaming. Why? Because he is not awakened to the self-knowledge. He is still ignorant. Because he looks upon himself as different from others. He's still in the Dvaita. As long as there is Dvaita, it is like the world. You are living in a dream world, even in the waking state. So everything seems real, like in the dream. The physical body is the place of enjoyment, the counter of experience from which you encounter the world. It is the point from which one operates. You are an enjoyer, and a mosquito is also an enjoyer, you being the object of its enjoyment. Thus, you find there are many enjoyers and different kinds of enjoyments. There are different doers and different types of doing, all of which are valid. Therefore, pain and pleasure are valid. That I am a small person is valid. That I am someone who's struggling to prove myself to somebody is valid. That the struggle never comes to an end is also valid. If you remember some time back, Mrinal was talking about how do you say pain is not real because I am experiencing pain and pleasure, right? So, in the Dvaita Jagat, all this is valid. The reality of oneness. Everything seems to be valid to those who see themselves as distinct. But amidst all this validity, one thing alone is not known, the Paramartha Tattva. The word Tattva means reality, and Paramartha Tattva is the ultimate reality, that which is the essential reality of everything. The differences that seem so real in dream and waking have no independent reality apart from this essential reality. What is essentially there is only one thing, and that is what I am. Tad aham asmi. The knower is myself. The known is myself. The knowledge is myself. The doer is myself. The doing is myself. And the done is myself. The world is myself. And the knower of the world is also myself. That all three, knower, known, and knowledge, are myself is an entirely different vision altogether. In reality, there is no difference whatsoever. For a wise person, the Paramartha Tattva is one thing alone, and it is oneself. This Paramartha Tattva is not recognized by those who are not wise. For them, everything is real. This means that there is more than one reality for such people, which is why the world is always too much for them. To think that everyone is different from you means that everyone is as real as you are. Words too will have their own realities, so that everything is as real as everything else. Naturally, then, you find a world which is dual. In other words, you experience samsara. While others are in this great sleep of ignorance, the wise person is awake to the Paramartha Tattva. He or she is awake to the reality of the I, the knowledge of which nullifies the division between the knower and the known, since in reality there is no division. Therefore, I am all of this. Ahamidam sarvam. Previously, I was only one among the many. Now the vision is that immanently I am everything, and transcendently I am free from everything. To this fact, the person The samyami is awake. So the person, while living in the an enlightened person who is there, sees aham idam sarva. I am all of this. And transcendentally, I am free from everything. In that asangoham state. One is sarvam kalvidam brahma, and the other one is asangoham. So the wise person is awake to the Paramartha Tattva. That is what the rest of us are asleep to. So what is night for the other wise is day for the wise person. So he is awake totally to this Paramartha Tattva. Comparison is not possible. Those who are not wise are awake only to divisions. These divisions are very real for such people. Whereas for the wise person, for the person of inquiry, whose vision is very clear, any division is night. You were asking, right, Sarlaji, what is night for this person?
Yes, yeah.
So this is what is night. Any division is night. So any duality is night. So he is completely in the Advaita Bhav. So it is not, for everybody else, Dvaita is like day, but for him that is night. The samsara that people complain about, he or she does not see at all. One person may say, I am sad, but the wise person does not see any sadness. Others complain that the world is too much for them, but the wise person does not find it to be so. It is not that the world is too much. You are too much. You are everything. Therefore, I am limitless. Aham Purnaha is the vision for the wise person. Whereas other people say, I am limited. Aham Purnaha, I am limited. Aham Apurna. I think there is a little typo here. Maybe it should read, I am limited is Aham Apurnaha, because Purnaha again means limitless, right? Right. So this is their vision, which for the wise person is like night, because this is not their understanding at all. What is day to everyone is night for the wise, and what is night for everyone else is like day for the wise. So what is day for everyone? All of us who are still not in that self-knowledge, that there is division, that there is Dvaita. I am different from the other. But that is night to him, because he is reveling in non-duality. There is no separation. Whereas what for everybody else, what is night? The night
Jagat.
that, the
Not
Jagat.
knowing that.
Yeah. What is
So
night
here
for
the
everybody else is the Atma Jnana. Paramartha Tattva is night for everyone. That is day for him. He's reveling in the Paramartha Tattva all the time. Whereas we are reveling in the samsara. That is day to us. Samsara is day to us. Advaita is night to us. So what is night to us is day for him. And what is day for us is night for him. Thus, wise are wise, and the otherwise are otherwise. The otherwise do not know the wise, and the wise do not see like the otherwise, because night and day do not meet. They cannot coexist, one being the opposite of the other. When the day breaks, night is gone. When night comes, day is gone. Like when you are awake, where is the dream? The dream is gone the moment you are awake.
But what is world to us that night for wise? But he is knowing that the world he knows also that transactional world or any world means that world he knows, but he sees as a dream. So, isn't it? So he knows the world means from the world only there is a transition to the known person means Atmagnani person. So it will be night for him still, or he will just ignore it, or he knows but he is witness. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, once he wakes up to the reality, otherwise, then for him it becomes a dream and it becomes a night for God, which for us it is a day, for him it becomes a night once he wakes up to the reality of Advaita.
See, there are three things here. One is tad aham asmi, that is one, and aham idam sarvam. I am all of this. So tad aham asmi is he realizes that he is there is no other, there is no duality, and the Paramartha Tattva, which is the basis of all the duality. So he realizes that tad aham asmi and aham idam sarvam. While he, supposing he's like, let's take Gurudev for instance. He's living as though like a normal person, but for him, he is in that constant state of aham idam sarvam. He does not see any difference. That is why he's able to do what he's doing. That is why he's able to know what is going on even in our minds at this point of time. Just a prayer is enough. Just that connect is enough. How is he sarvajnaha? Sitting in Colombia somewhere, he knows exactly what is going on in other parts of the world. So, ahamidam sarvam, in that constant state, I am everything. And at the same time, all this is not me. All this jagat that we think is real, that we think is, we are awake to this jagat and the samsara constantly. We see this duality. He says, I am not this.
So this Jagat takes over on us. And for the Sthita Prajna, that Prajna is Pratishtita. Means
Correct.
that steadiness and what. So he will not get disturbed by it. But
that is why it is said, in the beginning Krishna said, no, only the wise will understand the wise. Otherwise cannot understand the wise. No matter how much you try and comprehend a Siddha Purusha, you cannot completely understand. That is why their ways are so different. Sometimes it seems illogical. Sometimes they do things which are so unpredictable. So you cannot understand the ways of the wise. You have to become a wise person. You have to be a wise person in order to understand the wise. The otherwise will remain the otherwise. But the Siddhas, Lakshanas can be your tools, your sadhana tools. Siddhasya Lakshanani, Sadhakasya Sadhanani.
Jai Gurudev, that's what Krishna said in chapter 6, third shloka, no? Aruruda.
Yeah.
So for a sadhak, karma is the means, activity is the means, the jagat is the means. And for a yoga ruda, the one who has reached that or gone beyond the duality, cessation of all activities is the means. So until you are established in that, it's difficult, as just now Brahmaraji said, it's very difficult for us to comprehend this.
That is why even in Patanjali Yoga Sutras it is said, the Siddha comes from a different perspective altogether. We cannot say, oh, Siddha is sleeping only 1 or 2 hours, even I'll do the same thing. We will crash because we still have not reached that state. We will have to function from where we are while pursuing. It's not like you can't reach that state. Of course you can. Everybody has the capacity to become a Siddha, to be a wise person. Otherwise we would not be talking. Vedanta will not be there at all. It is just that we are so riddled with raga dveshas, so much of mala is there. All that mala needs to be cleansed. And this cleansing happens through karma yoga and through pursuing self-knowledge. So that is why you cannot compare the wise to the otherwise. Because for the otherwise, there is only division one sees. For the wise, there is no division.
Therefore, it's said, no, from somebody to nobody, from nobody to everybody. 3 steps.
So the otherwise do not know the wise, and the wise do not see like the otherwise, because night and day do not meet. This is another beautiful comparison between night and day and being awake and asleep. The moment you bring in light to a dark room, there is the darkness. It just disappears. But as long as there is no light, darkness will prevail in that room. They cannot coexist, one being the opposite of the other. When the day breaks, night is gone. When night comes, day is gone. The day always ensures that night has gone before it comes. This is the role of the dawn. Lord Sun tells the dawn, Aruna, messenger of the sun, to go and make sure that the way is clear. Dawn then comes and clears the way. Thus, before the sun comes, night has already gone. In this way, the sun and the night do not meet. Here is my story about why the sun rises every morning. Okay, there's something that's going to go. I'll just finish this story, okay? Narada, who is often found in mythological stories, was able to go to the gods without any particular passport or visa. Or one could say that he had a cosmic passport, as it were, since he could go from one world, Loka, to another. In this particular story, Narada went from the earth to the sun. The sun asked Narada what the people thought of him on earth. Oh, Lord Sun, Narada responded. In India, they do salutations to you in the early morning. Do you see? Do you not see that when you come up? Nowadays, very few do it, the sun replied. In the past, they did, but not now. But what is it that they say about me? Narada told him that everyone praises the sun, that when the sun comes out, everyone is happy. You are always praised everywhere, O sun, except, of course, in the Sahara Desert and Saudi Arabia. What did you like? What did you see that you liked on the earth? The sun then asked Narada. In response, Narada told him that there was one person whom he thought the sun should see, someone that he had never seen before. Everyone praises you as omniscient, but I would have to say that you are not omniscient because there is someone I think you have never seen. What? The sun exclaimed. I am not omniscient. I am the sun. I see everything. Who is it that you think I have not seen? There is one lady called Miss Darkness, Narada told him. Where is this Miss Darkness? The sun then asked. You can see her on the earth, Narada replied. Where will I find her right now? Asked the sun. She is in India. If you go there, you will see her, Narada told him. Eager to see Miss Darkness, the sun rose in the eastern sky. But Miss Darkness had gone to the west, to the antipodes, the opposite side of the globe. The sun then became angry. He really wanted to meet this woman, and so he set out after her again. But when he went to the antipodes, Miss Darkness had already gone to the other side. And when he went to that side, she was again on the opposite side. In this way, the sun continued to move around, trying to find Miss Darkness, and is still doing so even today. When he comes to the east, Miss Darkness goes to the west. When he goes to the west, she comes to the east. They never meet each other, just as day and night never meet each other because they are opposites. You cannot even compare the two. Thus, it can only be said that the sun is like the sun and darkness is like darkness. Such a beautiful story. We see this every day, but this thought doesn't come to us, right? Light cannot meet darkness because the moment there is light, there is darkness disappears. And as long as one is reeling in darkness, unless there
And
is light,
darkness knows the light comes.
Hmm.
There is a line, no? That statement is there. The darkness knows that the light comes.
So we'll stop here today. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Oh, I think I'm getting a little, difficulty in playing the video for the meditation. One second. Let me just check here.
Shall I play from the YouTube, Brahmaraji, the way I play?
I think it's okay now, Bella. One second.
Yeah.
Let us sit comfortably, easily. First, let us shake our hands. Shake our hands, and then let's keep our hands on our lap, or however you feel comfortable. And let's close our eyes. Let's keep our spine erect and body relaxed. We came into this planet weighing just 4 kilos or 5 kilos. Recollect or remember the weight of your body. It is 60 kilos, 70 kilos, whatever that is. Place your weight on the chair or on the floor you are sitting right at this point. Let's take a deep breath in. Hold the breath and let go. Honor your own body. Your body is the precious gift to you from nature. Become aware of your whole body. Skins, tissues, muscles, blood vessels, bones, and all the internal organs. Your body is a precious gift to you. Now let us come to the second dimension, your breath. It is our breath that is keeping our body alive. Your body is alive because of your breath. Take a deep breath in and let go. Incoming breath energizes the body and outgoing breath brings relaxation. This is happening all the time. Let us honor our own breath. Become aware of the air all around you. Like fish in the water, we are in air. Relax more and more. Let's take our attention to the top of the head and become aware of the empty space above our head. Become aware of the space in the entire room that you are sitting. Embrace all the thoughts, pleasant or unpleasant, good or bad. Become aware of a point right in the center of your heart, center of your chest. And take a deep breath in and breathe out and relax even more. As the body relaxes, the mind expands. And as the mind expands, your body finds deep relaxation. This moment is nothing to do and nothing to know either. Just let go and relax. Repose in yourself. You are a fountain of love. You are an ocean of peace. Repose in yourself. Take a deep breath in with a smile and breathe out with a smile. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So as you breathe out, you may open your eyes.